Good morning.
What's up? Today is day 24 and we have a green trailer.
All right, we've got the orange one is empty and loaded up. Maverick's writing a note to a friend, and we're heading to drop this one off and come back for that one. So we're about an hour away from town, so it's gonna be a long day. I need to go to the DMV. Kylan's gonna drop this off, or we'll just go everywhere together. But then we gotta drive back here, grab this green trailer, drive back an hour onto the highway, and head over to New York. So gotta go down. I think we have to go through the Boston area again, actually. I think that's still the fastest way. So a little detour to get the green trailer, but we made it happen. I'm grateful that Kylan agreed to let me do this because I think it's truly the best option that we have. So. 3 hours in the DMV, baby. 3 hours. Oh my goodness. Got to visit with an awesome gentleman, and then he left, and then I sat there in silence, waited my turn. I didn't even look at my phone. I just sat there in silence and looked at people. And I was surprised that a lot of other people doing the same thing. I think we all may have just enjoyed as a piece, you know? I don't know. Interesting. See you later, trailer. You've been nice. Thanks.
Bye, trailer.
Good knowing you. All right, we went for one last swim, grabbed the green trailer, and we're off to New York. Let's go. We got an event tomorrow, so what a day. What a day.
Good burger?
Ketchup, lettuce. You spit in my mouth. Sometimes fries spit in my mouth. Please?
Vent barn. You can like rent it for.
We collect magnets from the different states that we go to. So here's Maine.
Boats. Oh man. I'm exhausted. I don't think I felt this way at all on this tour. This is the first time where I just have zero energy left. I feel like I've said this maybe, I don't know, a handful of times before. And I still feel this way. I'm not discouraged, but just exhausted. We are in, we drove pretty late tonight. We made it to a Cracker Barrel here in western Massachusetts, so not quite to New York. So we're just staying here for the night. It is hot. It's like I almost don't want to sleep. I know if I like put my head on my pillow, I'll fall asleep pretty quick. But I think it's important to just like end these types of days with a moment of just reflection. And just like, okay, you know, what are the things that truly matter? Man, this tour is like, I felt like I was wise enough to not try to set too much of an expectation for this tour. And I knew it'd be exhausting. I remember thinking, like, before we left back last summer, as we were preparing for the tour, like, all right, we've had a season that has been nice and slow and calm in Port Angeles, where we've lived for the last 3 years. And now we're ready to go out and do something, you know, ambitious with the family, have these great experiences, and just kind of get into almost into trouble. So you know, I think we're doing what we set out to do, for sure. But one thing that I'm realizing with myself is I think I'm always overthinking. There's moments where I just let myself enjoy the moment, but there's always a part of me, like in the back of my head, that is just like grinding, processing. Just, what am I doing? Why are we doing what we're doing? What's the point of any of this? And I remember, you know, back when I punched the clock and like worked, you know, full-time jobs before I started my own business. It was the same thing. Like the exhaustion I feel now is the same exhaustion I feel, you know, in all these seasons. And I think it's like my mind is doing this to me. And it's like this weight I have for like our family. And it's weird, like if you know me, like, you know, I'm pretty like go with the flow, turn everything into an adventure. You know, if you know me from our adventure agent days, like Agent Brightside, so there's always like the glass is always half full. You know, I'm pretty optimistic, but there's always this like, when it's just me at the end of the day, I just chew and chew and chew on everything. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm really grateful for, you know, all the people that we're meeting on this tour, these experiences. I think this is something that, you know, really the thing that keeps me going is like what this experience is for our kids. I know for each of them, they're interpreting it differently. You know, it's writing something different on their childhood and like who they're, you know, shaping to be, or the shape that they're becoming. And I'm really excited for that. I think, you know, Breck and I talk about this all the time. We don't come from very, like, I guess, traditionally traumatic upbringings. Our households were pretty safe, but we got to experience a lot. And so the things that like influenced us during our childhood were those experiences. And so I really think that, you know, this is really important season for our kids and our family. And even these hard times, like I think it's important for our kids to see Breck and I like struggle mentally. You know, we're pretty like open family when it comes to processing that, and you kind of have to be, like when you're a full-time RV, you live life in a small container, if you will. You can't really hide how you're feeling. So our kids see it anyway, but I think that's something that, like, I know our kids are gonna all have a different interpretation of what they thought of during this season, or even how their parents process stuff. And that is a motivation for me daily. And when I get to these days like where I'm just so tired and I just don't know anything, I think just knowing like this experience and what this day was, and what each of these days are more moments for our kids and Breck and I to just have as a moment of like a trial almost. And I wonder too, like part of me wonders, since we didn't have a lot of trauma, capital T trauma as some people call it, I wonder if that, like, human nature is to like seek out opportunities to grow. And so, we almost put ourselves in situations that are stressful to like give us something. And that's been, our family motto is turn stress into adventure. And then, I get to these points, I'm like, man, what are we doing? Wow, this is crazy. But I think without this, stress and without these like hurdles, whether they were like, our fault for bringing them on or not, I think these are giving us something to chew on and grow. And so I'm just grateful. And it's hard to say that, in this moment. All right, I'm gonna go to bed now. Day 24 on this 100-day, 100-video challenge. Thanks for sticking around. Subscribe if you haven't already. I think I'm over the hardest part of the hurdle here, so I'm excited to get a little bit more involved in kind of the creation of the story for these videos. We have a big bike clinic in New York, upstate New York, and then we are continuing to head west. So today was the official day that marked our journey back west. So we're kind of in the final leg, making our way back towards the West Coast. So I want to end strong. I want to really kind of cement in these things. I've been putting off a lot of stuff in terms of like cleaning up what we're doing with this tour and really giving it purpose to transition into this next season and what that looks like. So I'm really excited to kind of move in that direction and be intentional about, these next stops and how they can lead into a transition for us and our family and what we choose to do next. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. I'll see you tomorrow for day 25.